The best way to prepare for an upcoming episode or event is to simulate the event as it would be when you go live. We've made this possible at Zync with our functionality for rehearsals. Once you're done creating your event, Zync allows you to launch a rehearsal and go through all your event scenes to make sure that everything looks good. I'm going to show you how to do this with a demo event that I've created in my workspace. So, what you'll do is go to the event, and you'll always see this tab here for you to launch a rehearsal. I would highly suggest that you first complete your event timeline where you'll be adding your discussion points and interactive scenes like a poll or a word cloud, which goes into designing the scenes of your live event. It makes sense to have this timeline ready before you launch a rehearsal. So let's go ahead and launch a rehearsal for this event. I have a bot joining me as the speaker. As you can see, as a moderator, I have view of the timeline. This is exactly how the event would look like to me when I go live. Keep in mind that the timeline is not visible to audiences and it's not part of our recording. So this timeline is only for the convenience of the moderator. Another thing to keep in mind that is that Zinc always has a default welcome scene. This welcome scene is off the record and again does not go into the actual recording of the event. This scene is built and designed for you and your speaker to do a mic check, a camera check, and make sure that you're positioned well, that your microphone is working, and that your lighting looks great. Once you're done creating your event and you're in the rehearsal, what you'll want to do is make sure that your scenes look good, the scenes that you created in the prepare phase of your event. So I want to make sure that my speaker intro looks just the way I want it to. You want to make sure that the title is updated, the person's name is updated, and then I'm going to move on to the next scene and make sure that my question pops up in the right way and that it's in the right order. Similarly, I can go through all my scenes, even the interactive scenes like a Q&A scene. I want to make sure that the poll shows up correctly and I can test all of this out. I can submit answers to see what the attendee experience would look like. And speaking of attendee experience, let me also briefly cover that. As an attendee, you do not see this event timeline as I'd mentioned. Also, bear in mind that Zinc automatically mutes and turns off videos for attendees. The way they can interact with you is through this chat button, or they can submit questions through this question button. You can test this out and see just how this is going to look during your live event. When people submit questions during the live event, it's going to start showing up for you as a moderator in your questions panel as well. And even questions that you collect before the event goes live through our Ask a Question page also gets populated here. During the live event, you would go to your Q&A scene, and then you will be able to see all your questions and bring up whichever ones you want to and in whichever order that you want to, and they'll start showing up right here in your scene. Besides Q&As and chat, you can add interactive elements like a poll, which attendees can interact with. Let me reset the poll so you can see what it would look like for attendees. You can also have a word cloud and ask people to submit their responses. Here, I'm testing out the word cloud scene, which is going to look like this. And people can submit their answers right here. And then you, as a moderator, will be able to press and hold this to complete the word cloud session. You see, there's only one response here because I am testing. Besides this, the other way audiences can interact with you is with reactions, and this is where you can test what this looks like. You can click on any of these reaction bars to see what audience reactions would look like during the live show. Another final thing before we wrap this up is you can test out a gallery and spotlight view too. This is for when you may have multiple speakers. You could change to a spotlight mode where the person that's speaking shows up here and the other speakers are down here in a grid. From that, you can again move back to this kind of a gallery view. And that's how you can launch a rehearsal right within Zync to see what your live event is going to look like.